Céad Míle Fáilte. Welcome to the Treasured Tales of Ireland, a place where you can come and listen to the many myths and legends and folktales and fairy tales of the Emerald Isle, helping to keep the stories of the past alive. My name is MyLinda Butterworth, and I will be your teller of tales. I hope you will join me each week for new stories. If you enjoy my work, please like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Additionally, be sure to explore my other story collections for more tales. Before we begin, please note that if you are using the closed caption feature of this video, many Irish names may not sound the way they appear. We've made every effort to pronounce them correctly. Now, let's get started. Today, we conclude our story of the fate of the Children of Lir, Episode 24, Part 2. As you may recall, our story ended with the Children of Lir being cursed to be swans by the witch Aoife. The children would remain as swans 900 years, till a marriage occurs between the north and the south, and a bell is rung to acknowledge a new religion had come to Ireland. Now, let's continue. As to Bodb Dearg and the Tuatha de Danaan, they came to the shore of Loch Dairbhreach, and they made their camp there to be listening to the music of the swans. And the sons of the Gael used to be coming no less than the Men of Dea, to hear them from every part of Ireland, for there never was any music or delight heard in Ireland to compare with that music of the swans. And they used to be telling stories and to be talking with the men of Ireland every day, and with their teachers and their fellow pupils and their friends, and every night they used to sing very sweet music of the Sidhe, and everyone that heard that music would sleep sound and quiet, whatever trouble or long sickness might be on them, for everyone that heard the music of the birds is happy and contented he would be after it. These two gatherings now of the Tuatha de Danaan and the sons of the Gael stopped there around Loch Dairbhreach through the length of 300 years. And it is then Finuala said to her brothers, "Do you know," she said, "we have spent all we have to spend of our time here, but this one night only." And there was great sorrow on the sons of Lir when they heard that, for they thought it the same as to be living people again, to be talking with their friends and their companions on Loch Dairbhreach, in comparison with going to the cold, fretful sea of the Maoile in the north. And they came early on the morrow to speak with their father and with their foster father, and they bade them farewell. And Finuala made this complaint: "Farewell to you, Bodb Dearg, the man with whom all knowledge is in plenty, and farewell to our father along with you, Lir of the hill of the white field. The time is come, I think, for us to part from you. O pleasant company, my grief, it is not on a visit we are going to you. From this day out, O friends of our heart, our comrades, it is on the tormented course of the Maoile we will be, without the voice of any person near us. 300 years there, and 300 years in the bay of the Men of Dea. It is plenty for the four comely children of Lir, the salt waves of the sea to be their covering by night. O three brothers with the ruddy faces gone from you, let them all leave the lake now, the great troop that loved us. It is sorrowful our parting is." After that complaint, they took to flight, lightly, airily, till they came to Maoile, between Ireland and Alban, and that was a grief to the men of Ireland, and they gave out an order no swan to be killed from that out, whatever chance there might be of killing one, all through Ireland. It was a bad dwelling place for the children of Lir, there to be in the Sruth Maoile. When they saw the wide coast about them, they were filled with cold and with sorrow, and they thought nothing of all they had gone through before in comparison to what they were going to go through on that sea. Now, one night, while they were there, a great storm came on them, and it is what Finuala said. "My dear brothers," she said, "it is pity for us not to be making ready for this night, for it is certain the storm will separate us from one another. And let us," she said, "settle on some place where we can meet afterwards if we are driven from one another in the night." "Let us settle," said the others, "to meet one another at Carrig no Ron, the Rock of the Seals, for we all have knowledge of it." And when midnight came, the wind came on them, and the noise of the waves increased, and the lightning was flashing, and a rough storm came sweeping down the way of the children of Lir were scattered over the great sea. And the wideness of it set them astray, so that no one of them could know what the others went. But after the storm, a great quiet came on the sea, and Finuala was alone on Sruth Maoile, and when she took notice that her brothers were wanting, she was lamenting after them greatly, and she made this complaint. "It is a pity for me to be alive in the state I am. It is frozen to my sides, my wings are. It is little that the wind has not broken my heart and my body with the loss of A. To be 300 years on Loch Dairbhreach without going into my own shape. It is worse to me the time I am on Sruth Maoile. The three I loved, the three I loved that slept under the shelter of my feathers till the dead come back to the living, I will see them no more forever. It is a pity I stay after Fiachra, and after A, and after Comely Khan, and with no account of them I grieve to be here to face every hardship this night." She stopped all night there upon the Rock of the Seals, until the rising of the sun, looking out over the sea on every side, till at last she saw Khan coming to her, his feathers wet through and his head hanging, and her heart gave him a great welcome. And then Fiachra came wet and perished and worn out, and he could not say a word they could understand with the dint of the cold and the hardship he had gone through. Finuala put him under her wings, and she said, "We would be well off now if A would but come to us." It was not long after that they saw A coming, his head dry and his feathers beautiful, and Finuala gave him a great welcome, and she put him under the feathers of her breast, and Fiachra under her right wing, and Khan under her left wing, the way she could put her feathers over them all. "And my brothers," she said, "this was a bad night to us, and it is many of it like are before us from this out." They stayed there a long time after that, suffering cold and misery on the Maoil, till at last a night came on them they had not known the like of before, for frost and snow and wind and cold, and they were crying and lamenting the hardship of their life, and the cold of the night, and the greatness of the snow, and the hardness of the wind. And after they had suffered cold to the end of a year, a worse night again came on them in the middle of the winter, and they were on Carrig na Ron, and the water froze about them as they rested on the rock. Their feet and their wings and their feathers froze to the rock, the way they were not able to move from it, and they made such a hard struggle to get away that they left the skin of their feet and their feathers, and the tops of their wings on the rock after them. My grief, children of Lir, said Fionnuala. It is bad our state is now, for we cannot bear the salt water to touch us, and there are bonds on us not to leave it. And if the salt water goes into our sores, she said, we will get our death. And as she made this complaint, it is keening we are tonight, without feathers to cover our bodies. It is cold. The rough, uneven rocks are under our bare feet. It is bad our stepmother was to us the time she played enchantments on us, sending us out like swans upon the sea. Our washing place is on the ridge of the bay, in the foam of flying mains of the sea. Our share of the ale feast is the salt water of the blue tide. 1 daughter and 3 sons. It is in the clefts of the rocks we are. It is on the hard rocks we are. It is a pity we are. However, they came on to the course of Maoil again, and the salt water was sharp and rough and bitter to them, but it was itself. They were not able to avoid it or to get shelter from it, and they were there by the shore under the hardship till such time as their feathers grew again and their wings, until their sores were entirely healed. And then they used to go every day to the shore of Ireland or of Alban, but they had to come back to Sruth na Maoile every night. And they came one day to the mouth of Bonna, to the north of Ireland, and they saw a troop of riders, beautiful and of one color, with well-trained, pure white horses under them, and they were traveling the road straight from the southwest. Do you know who those riders are, sons of Lir? Said Fionnuala. We do not, they said, but it is likely they might be some troop of the sons of Gael or of the Tuatha de Danaan. They moved over closer to the shore then, that they might know who they were. And when the riders saw them, they came to meet them until they were able to hold talk together. And the chief men among them were 2 sons of Bodb Dearg, Aoife of the Quickwits, and Fergus Fahilda of the Chess, and a third part of the riders of the She along with them, and it was for the swans they had been looking for a long while before that. And when they came together, they wished one another a kind and loving welcome. And the children of Lir asked for news of all the men of Dea, and above all of Lir and Bodb Dearg and their people. They are well, and they are in the one place together, said they, in your father's house at She Finnacawee, using the feast of age pleasantly and happily, and with no uneasiness on them, only for being without yourselves, and without knowledge of what happened to you from that day you left Loch Dairbhreach. That has not been the way with us, said Fionnuala, for we have gone through a great hardship and uneasiness and misery on the tides of the sea until this day. And she made this complaint. There is a delight tonight with the household of Lir, plenty of ale with them and of wine, although it is in a cold dwelling place this night are the 4 children of the king. It is without a spot our bedclothes are, our bodies covered over with curved feathers, but it is often we were dressed in purple, and we drinking pleasant mead. It is what our food is, and our drink, the white sand and the bitter water of the sea. It is often we drink mead of hazelnuts from brown 4-lipped drinking cups. It is what our beds are, bare rocks, and of the power of the waves. It is often there used to be spread out for us beds of the breast feathers of birds. Though it is our work now to be swimming through the frost and through the noise of the waves, It is often a company of the sons of kings who are riding after us to the hill of Bodb. It is what wasted my strength to be going and coming over the hill of Maoile, the same way I never was used to, and never to be in the sunshine on the soft grass. Fiacra's bed and Con's bed is to come under the cover of my wings on the sea. A has his place under the feathers of my breast, and the four of us, side by side. The teaching of Manannán without deceit, and the talk of Bodb Dearg on the pleasant ridge, the voice of Angus, his sweet kisses, it is by their side I used to be without grief. And that the riders went on to Lir's house, and they told the chief men of the Tuatha de Danaan all the birds had gone through, and the state they were in. "We have no power over them," the chief men said, "but we are glad they are living yet, for they will get help in the end of time." As to the children of Lir, they went back towards their old place in the Maoile, and they stopped there till the time they had to spend in it was spent. And then Finuala said, "The time has come for us to leave this place, and it is to Aoife Donnan we must go now," she said. "After our 300 years here, and indeed there will be no rest for us there, or any standing ground, or any shelter from the storms. But since it is our time for us to go, let us set out on the cold wind, the way we will not go astray." So they set out in that way, and left Maoile behind them, and went on to the port of Aoife Donnan. And there they stopped, and it is a life of misery and a cold life they left there. And one time the sea froze about them, and they could not move at all. And the brothers were lamenting, and Finuala was comforting them, for she knew there would help come them in the end. And they stayed at Aoife Donnan till the time they had spent there was spent. And then Finuala said, "The time has come for us to go back to Fiannacaí, where our father and his household, and with all our own people." "It pleases us well to hear that," they said. So they set out flying through the air lightly till they came to Fiannacaí, and it is how they found the place empty before them, and nothing in it but green hillocks and thickets of nettles, without a house, without a fire, without a hearthstone. And the four pressed close to one another then, and they gave out 3 sorrowful cries, and Finuala made this complaint. "It is a wonder to me, this place is. It is without a house, without a dwelling place, to see it the way it is now. Ah, Con, it is bitterness to my heart. Without dogs, without hounds for hunting, without women, without great kings. We never knew it to be like this when our father was in it. Without horns, without cups, without drinking in the lighted house, without young men, without riders. The way it is tonight is a foretelling of sorrow. The people of the place to be as they are now, Con, it is grief to my heart. It is plain to my mind tonight the lord of the house is not living. Ach, house where we used to see music and playing and the gathering of people. I think it's a great change to see it lonely the way it is tonight. The greatness of the hardships we have gone through, going from one wave to another of the sea. We never heard of the like of them coming on any other person. It is seldom this place had its part with grass and bushes. The man is not living that would know us. It would be a wonder to him to see us here. However, the children of Lir stopped that night in their father's place and their grandfather's, where they had been reared, and they were singing very sweet music of the Sidhe. And they rose up early on the morning of the morrow, and went to Inish Gluare. And all the birds of the country gathered near them on Loch Dairbhreach, the lake of the birds. And they used to go out to feed every day to the far parts of the country, to Inishgi, and to Akul, and place Don, son of Maoil, and his people that were drowned were buried, and to all the western islands of Congat, and they used to go back to Inish Gluare every night. It was about that time it happened them to meet with a young man of a good race, and his name was Dairbhreach, and he often took notice of the birds, and their singing was so sweet to them, and he loved them greatly, and they loved him. And it is this young man that told the whole story of all that had happened to them and put it in order. And the story he told of what happened to them in the end is this. It was after the faith of Christ and blessed Patrick came into Ireland that Saint Moquivog came to Inish Gluare, and the first night he came to the island the children of Lir heard the voice of his bell ringing near them. And the brothers started up with fright when they heard it. We do not know, they said. What is that weak, unpleasing voice we hear? That is the voice of the bell of Moquivog, said Finuala. And it is through that bell, she said, you will be set free from pain and from misery. They listened to that music of the bell till the matins were done, and then they began to sing the low, sweet music of the Sidhe. And Moquivog was listening to them, and he prayed to God to show him who was singing that music. And it was showed to him that the children of Lir were singing it. And on the morning of the morrow he went forward to the lake of the birds, and he saw the swans before him on the lake, and he went down to them at the brink of the shore. Are you the children of Lir? He said. We are indeed, said they. I give thanks to God for that, said he. For it is your sakes I am come to this island beyond any other island, and let you come to land now, he said, and give your trust to me, that you may do good deeds and part from your sins. They came to the land after that, and they put trust in Moquivog, and he brought them to his own dwelling place, and they used to be hearing mass with him. And he got a good smith, and bade them make chains of bright silver for them, and he put a chain between A and Finuala, and a chain between Con and Fiacra, and the four of them were raising his heart and gladdening his mind, and no danger and no distress that was on the swans before put on any trouble on them now. Now the king of Connacht at that time was Lernan, son of Colman, son of Kovach, and Cha, daughter of Finan, was his wife. And that was the coming together of the man from the north and the woman from the south that Aoife had spoken of. And the woman heard talk of the birds, and a great desire came on her to get them. And she bade Lernan to bring them to her, and he said he would ask them of Moquivog. And she gave her word she would not stop another night with him unless he would bring them to her. And she set out from the houses there and then. And Lernan sent messengers after her to bring her back, and they did not overtake her until she was at Kildun. She went back home with them, and Lernan sent messengers to the birds of Moquivog, and he did not get them. There was a great anger on Lernan then, and he went himself to the place of Moquivog was, and he asked if it was true he had refused them the birds. It is indeed true, said he. At that, Lernan rose up, and he took hold of the swans and pulled them off the altar. 2 birds in each hand, to bring them away to Cha. But no sooner had he laid his hands on them than the birds' skins fell off, and what was in their place was 3 lean, withered old men and a thin, withered old woman, without blood or flesh. And Lernan gave a great start at that, and he went out from the place. It is then Finuala said to Molquivog, "Come and baptize us now, for it is short till our death comes, and it is certain you do not think worse of parting with us than we do of parting with you. And make our grave afterwards," she said, "and lay Con at my right side, and Fiacra on my left side, and A before my face between my 2 arms, and pray to the God of heaven," she said, "that you may be able to baptize us." The children of Lir were baptized then, and they died and were buried as Finuala had desired. Fiacra and Con, 1 at each of her sides, and A before her face, and a stone was put over them, and their names were written in Ogham, and they were keened there, and heaven was gained for their souls. And that is the fate of the children of Lir. And here is where I end my tale for today. But I'll be back with more tales, many more tales. Until then, my friends, enjoy the journey. Slán go fóill. Bye for now. If you enjoyed this story, please give us a thumbs up and comment. It truly helps us.